Hello and welcome back. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot, and it's November the 5th. It's a Tuesday, and let's talk about all that is happening in Indian football. Of course, the big news today is the announcement of Manolo Marquez of his 26-player probables squad for the upcoming friendly against Malaysia on the 18th of November in Hyderabad. Other things, of course, to talk about is the match fixing allegations and the steps taken by the Mizoram Football Association. Done a separate video on it. If you haven't seen it, do watch it. And of course, yesterday evening, Chennai FC thrashing Jamshedpur FC 5-1 away at the Furnace. So a lot of things to talk about, and let's get into those things. Good evening, Kumar. Good evening, Gear and Rare, and welcome back to you guys. Not only to you, but also to the others who are joining in tonight. And let's have, as always, hopefully an interesting and insightful discussion on matters Indian football. And as always, like to say, if you haven't, do like, share, and subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube, and 1,899 subscribers today. So maybe we will cross in the show the 1,900 mark today. So again, a small little step again. And I'd say that that would be a big step. And I said, did a video, and it proves a point to me before coming to speak about Monroe and all other things. Did a video on the whole situation in Mizoram and what steps the Mizoram Football Association has taken, and less interest in that than in other things. And that just proves the point. Are we really interested in the topics and the issues and the problems that there are in Indian football, or are we just very superficially discussing Indian football? So therefore, guys, spread that video around. I think it's a monumental decision that the Mizoram Football Association, that they've taken, banning 24 players, 3 officials, banning 3 clubs because of match, as they call it, match manipulation or match fixing, whatever you want to call it, corruption. No other state is doing that, I think, and I know it, that there could have been action taken in Bengal, in Goa, in Kerala, in Karnataka, in Delhi, Mumbai, everywhere. But the state association, the district associations do not take that step. And that's something which I find very, very important. Good evening, Mahesh. And I, of course, pass on your wishes to all the fans of Indian football. Kieran Reyes says, I'm really furious with Manolo. Sandesh was out for 9 months and got selected after one ISL game. Yes, he got experience, but on the basis of one comeback game. Why he selected him? Kieran Reyes, I said it, I think, yes, I said it especially the other day when we were doing a live around the game of FC Goa versus BFC, that Sandesh is an exceptional player, and the scary part is how good of suddenly the FC Goa defense were after all the hiccups in the last few days and weeks, and that the difference that Sandesh does make. And I think that's the reason why the coach has selected him, because he knows, he sees him every day in training. We have a lack of quality defenders, quality players in different positions. Sandesh is an exception, and therefore Sandesh has been picked up. And that's, I, for my part, think it's the right decision by the coach. Again, you might be having a different opinion and might be furious about it, but if you ask me, I think Manolo has done the right thing in calling up Sandesh, because again, we don't have too many players, and in that one, and and that's something. कैसे हो आप हिंदी में बोलिए please. Ashish, my Hindi, as I've said few times over the last few days, weeks and months, isn't good enough to be doing the show in Hindi. I could do it in Bengali theoretically as well, but for me, English is the most comfortable language for me to speak in, and hopefully, therefore for me, that is something that I rather do. Dropping Nikhil Pujari doesn't make sense in my opinion. Yeah, could be discussed. I think the question is, Ashish Rai still in the squad, so that would be rather than surprise. I think Nikhil Pujari, but so let's see. Jingan will be our captain after Sunil Chetri's presence will give energy to the young lads, so it's a positive call in my opinion. yeah, on that side, it is certainly a positive call from the coach to bring in or bring back Sandesh into the team, because Sandesh does have an influence on this dressing room, and I think that's the big question of how he can influence this dressing room in the best possible way. How much of positive impact can he make? From that perspective, I think having Sandesh back is a good thing. Is he captain? We will see. Gurpreet is also there in the mix. So therefore, that will have to be seen if Sandesh is the captain, or if the coach thinks that someone else should be the captain. So therefore, let's see what happens. Jingan is permanent quota. I don't think so, Sambit. Again, you put a laughing smiley next to it. I don't think it's something which is a quota system. I think we are, to be honest, who are the better defenders at the moment? We have a problem defensively, and if someone of the caliber of a Sandesh Jingan, the way he played against BFC, also, I think that is something, uh, you know, so that's why. Anirudh Thapa's selection also something we've been thinking from a long time. Is not informed, plus not more a regular starter. He isn't as wrong. Didn't he play the last two games and played well with Apuya or whoever else in defensive midfield? I think Anirudh has had better matches than in the past. Another, sorry, India will lose Mizoram state from India. State from Mizoram CM, they want separate nation. Okay, haven't heard about it, Kumar. Can't say anything on it. Happy to see Jitin MS in the squad. Yeah. Yeah, good to see. I mean, it's not only him. There are a few who have been called up, who are new. Valpuya being the other one. Vibin getting a chance. Irfan Yadwad also being called up. So yeah, a number of players who have been given a chance. So therefore, let's wait and see. But how do we assess that Jingan is better defender just by one game? No, of course not. Sambit, he's been in and around the national team for a long, long time. And experience counts, that international experience counts. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. But to me, Sandesh, if fit, and he proved that on Saturday, is someone who is a natural starter for the national team. Do you think Manolo will give chances to new faces? Fast food, he's called them up. If he's going to give them chances, that's, again, a different question, I guess, for the coach to answer. I think the coach will have a look. Who does he have? How is he placed? What can he do with the squad? To me, Jitin is someone who potentially could come in. I think that's something which I feel, so for me, let's see what he does and who he gives a chance. Changte should not play from the wing. He should be in the striker position. Don't agree with that, Emmanuel. I think Changte on the wings, maybe even a number 10 position, is more effective than putting him as an out and out number 9 striker. In case of women, Monan, I think it's too early. It's my personal opinion. Mahesh, I'm trending or tending towards your opinion. I also feel I think have been given a little bit more chance to prove himself. I think Putea is someone who I would like to have seen, but seems like that's the decision that the coach has taken. Another, my problem with Sandesh Singh should not be selected because of ACL. He should not get overloaded by matches. Kumar, one match, maximum 90 minutes. I don't think it's an overload of Sandesh. He would be training at FC Goa as well. So in my opinion, that one, if it was 2 matches, yeah, we can have a conversation. But again, I don't think Manolo would have played him, because Manolo will also have in the back of mind the overload factor. But I think Sandesh is ready and Sandesh wants to play. And again, I think the mentality factor in this team is an important one. I think Sandesh brings that mentality. Yasir, not in the squad. I think he wobbled off in the last game, if I'm not completely wrong. So therefore, might not be fully fit. So therefore, that's something that one has to keep in mind with certain players. if they're fit, if they're not fully fit, if they're able to play or not. And therefore, I think Mohamed Yassir to me is one of those guys who are not fully fit. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he is there fully there to be a part of the national team. Right, little more than 10 minutes. As always, as I like to say, if you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, do leave a like behind, a share, and do subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube, if you think you're liking what you're seeing so far. 3 likes so far, so I think we can do better. And again, we're one short of the 1900 mark of the number of subscribers, so please do share and subscribe, and then we'll, let's see. When will right time to call Nufal Valpuya? Valpuya has been called up, Sanskar. So Valpuya is part of the squad that has been called up. Nufal to me is too early. I think he needs to show more to be able to get into the national team. And the other day against Blasters also proved to me sometimes too selfish, and needs to learn a few things, and when to pass, how to pass. And therefore, Nufal, I think, is still some time away. What's your take? Which will form the formation he will choose, 3-4-3 or 3-5-2? To me, if you ask me, let's see what he does. Does he play a 3-man backline like he did in the last game? Is that the best thing that we can do, or does he fall back to a 4-man backline? Does he play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3? I'm not sure. Formation. Manolo hasn't settled on a formation yet, so let's think. I think 3-5-2 doesn't make sense. I think we don't have the characters for a 3-5-2. It's rather a 3-man attack or a 3-1 attack. Let's see what the coach does. Hi, Dark Knight. Manolo select Sandesh for his fighting spirit. I would say so. If you ask me, Dark Knight, yes, because Sandesh is a player that does give you that edge, fighting spirit. I think it's also passion. These are all factors which I thought was a little lacking. So therefore, I would hope Sandesh can bring that to the national team. It's a positive squad for me, but only one thing which lacks is in the creative playmaking role. Only Brandon is there. Let's see. Hope India. Mahesh, I don't think so. I think that there are creative players who, if needed, can play in that number 10 position if he's looking for that. You have Edmund, you have Changte who can play in there. So worst case, even Manveer, Vikram can play in that position as well. So therefore, I don't think the creativity is a big of a thing. So that's. So thoughts on dropping Sahal? Sahal hasn't played much and hasn't played well. That's the simple reason. Jitin MS called up for national team. Yes, Mayank. Let's see. So let's see. What happened in Mumbai City FC versus Kerala Blasters? I not watch match. Please tell how close. There are two things. Sanskar, Mumbai took a 2-0 lead, concede 2 goals. It is 2-2. And then they get a red card, or directly after the goal, they get a red card. So Mumbai then scored 2 more goals and win 4-2. But again, if you want to know how it went, just watch. I still have extended highlights for that game. Great team selection is slowly getting rid of players, but also not rushing the team balance. It's like with every new selection, someone new comes and all goes. By the way, Thapa deserves the call up. Yeah, Showcast, he's done that. But again, is that the best squad? We will see. Our player is playing in Thai League 3. Michivi is the name. Okay. Hi, Kaushik. Any reason Sal's on the squad? I think Sal hasn't played well enough in the ISL to be able to win a squad. Aladdin Ajarai most likely join Mohun Bagan next season. I've seen form Mohun Bagan Superjoy will try to get him. Let's see, Sanskar. If that's, again, they don't go for foreign strikers in the ISL. They rather go for Australians, as you've seen in the last few years. Irfan Yarwad is a good option in terms of the physical abilities and the speed he has. Let's see, Mahesh. For me, he's not played enough ISL. I am rather a fan of not a fan, but I would support if he had called up Brahim Ali rather. That physicality, we saw that yesterday. Yes, of course, Jamshedpur were all over the place, but there was sometimes in one or two situations the physicality missing in Irfan's game. And I remember he was playing a while back for Bangalore United. So therefore, there's a little bit more that I think he needs to do. Kumar says, Vipin Mohan has been a vital cog for Kerala Blasters in the midfield for the most of matches. He has been taking the responsibility of midfield of Kerala with any foreigners. Yes, he has. But then it's also one of the reasons why they've surrendered games. No? Brandon is finally getting respect. He deserves to start, and now under Manolo, he's getting the opportunities. Yeah, let's see, Showcast. No boast now how we're going to do our unparalleled defensive transitions. Let's see. It's on the others, right? It's on the others. Jay Gupta also not in there. Nikhil Pujari not in there. So it's going to be interesting that these players who've been called up have to show it. I still think Ashish Rai surprises me because, so to me, will be interesting to see the squad and hopefully they perform. Difference between Yadwad and Rahim, I think both are very similar, but he lacks experience, a little bit of physical prowess, but he's also better in offensive awareness. Will be interesting to see. To me, will be interesting to see because Rahim Ali has also that international experience, having been part of the juniors. Let's wait and see, but Irfan Yadwad has something. If you see the goal that he scored yesterday, that was class. But he needs to do more to be able to he has to be regular now as he is at Kerala, at Chennai. And if he can do that on a regular basis, then it'll be interesting to see how he can take his own game forward. So that's, I think, the challenge that Irfan Yadwad has. And again, Rahim Ali, yes, sometimes, creates those positions, create those chances, but it's not, he's not able to score. Who will be in back four? That's a question for the coach, Kamal. If you ask me, and if I look at the squad, I would most probably look at if you ask me, I would like to see Roshan on the right, Akash Sangwan on the left, and Sandesh and Rahul Beke in the middle. What's your take on Houston Class? Does it deserve the chance on bench? I do not see how he selected. I do not see how he selected him. Kumar, it's a question of who do I pick, who I don't pick. I mean, that's the whole question about our wingers, right? At the moment, to me, it's big X, big Z, big Y, big A, big B, big Z. No boss, thank God we don't want racing with referee. Why is Liston in the squad? Question for the coach, right? Question for the coach, but let's see. Rama is not getting enough game timing in Bishop FC. Mostly is getting minutes from bench. Yeah, but we are looking for a striker replacement. So for me, Rahim Ali is the one where I felt, at least if I look at June. Again, people say Farooq Chaudhary scored, but I think again, if you want physical presence, I think Rahim Ali is the best option from all of these strikers. Chennai FC gave opportunities to Rahim, Kian, Gurkirat, and now Yadwad. Seems like they're trying to find a proper Indian striker. Yeah. Roshan, Sana, Jingan, and Anwar. Not going to be your backline. What happened? Unrise when will play? If he will not play, why even then sign him? I don't understand the reason, No, they wanted him for the ACL2. They no longer are in ACL2 and he's there. And let's see what they're going to do. Irfan came in as a surprise, but we have no options at strikers, so one has to try and test there. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Ranavada has performed 1-1 false flat. to earth. Yeah. Finally, Jitin and also Manolo is getting rid of permanent players. You know what I mean? Yeah, Akash. But again, let's see. If these players don't perform, your so-called permanents come back, right? Roshan Sana, Beke Pujari will be back for risky to play Jingan and Anwar. Okay, Pujari is not in the squad. Kian Namte dropped after just one camp. Yeah, Manolo, he's bringing in players, he's taking off players. You know, he's got the flexibility, and that's what the coach is doing. He's trying out players. And you know, he wants to see the players, and that's what Manolo is trying to do. And some come in, some go, and he's got the flexibility that he wants. But why Jingan? He missed the whole season. Let him come back to mainstream football. Because Akash, it's if you ask me, if you see the way he played on Saturday, you would not say that he's he is he missed the last 9 months. He was very, very solid. And if I look at Uday before that, with Jay Gupta, with Nimdorji, all over the place on Saturday with Sandesh, very, very good game. So therefore, from that perspective, I think Sandesh is with Rahul Beke our best centre back at the moment, and therefore those two need to play. Indian players do not have shooting power. Okay, Manuel. Back 3 or 5 or back 4? For me, I would say back 4. Sahal and Bose deservedly dropped. Sahal, for sure, he's been having injury problems as well. Shubhashish Bose, I'm not fully sure. Let's wait and see. So who's right back? Ashish Rai or Roshan are our right backs. Yeah, Manu, overall, yeah, 26 players. He's gone by form. To me, I don't know. Is Pujari injured or what? He was doing well in BFC. I don't know if he's injured, even though last match he didn't play. So maybe there is something with an injury, but yeah, he's not being called up. Malaysia winger Arif Aiman will cook India defense alone. He scored today in ACL Elite against Ulsan Hyundai. 3-0 win for the Indonesian side. What if Nikhil Prabhu instead of Thapa? Give Nikhil a little bit more time. Let him play. Manvir is in. I guess you will also include Parthiv and Vinit in next window if they can maintain the performance. Next window is in March. I think the next window is no longer experiments. The next window, he'll have to play the best, you know. So let's see. Back 3 of Sandesh, Anwar, Beke looks solid. If he's playing back 3, I don't know if he's playing back 3, back 4. I think Indian players prefer, if they don't have a foreigner with them, I think they prefer a back 4 rather than a back 3. You know, and I am pulling out someone in midfield, and I think against a team like Malaysia, back 3 and +2, which is 5, to me sounds a little too defensive. Well, now that's too soon to get call up Irfan Yadwad, but I observed one thing with Irfan: his legs are quick with ball, and one drawback with him is having less confidence while shooting. Okay, Kumar. When will Ashik return? Pranjal, he's not playing at Mohun Bagan regularly, so he has to play at Mohun Bagan. Let's see. He has to play regularly at the club level, then he only can get back into the national team. Sangwan and Roshan are on form better than Bose. Yeah, but international experience counts, guys. I always say that, if you like it or not. Next window, Manvi will be dropped. Manolo is buying time before his departure. Okay, if you know. Pujari's injured. Yeah, I thought so. Beke, Sana, Ashish, Roshan, then back for Case, Sanskar. Are you happy with the squad? Yeah, overall, it's I pick these 5. I don't pick these 5. I pick those 2. I don't pick those 2. We have a quality issue, guys, so it doesn't matter who we're picking, right? The end result will be the same. Roshan, wingback? Yeah, for me, of course, Roshan is a wingback. I would put him on the right. Should India play one friendly before qualifying match in March, because we will play qualifying match per window? Manolo, I don't know when the qualifier is set. I think that's a question that I have. One has to look at the calendar. yeah, but we'll have to see if we can put a friendly in there or not. The next window is not for experiments. You have to find a great squad before that. That's the point, Mahesh, right? The experiments end with this window, and let's see. Is there absolutely no window between November and March? No, Pranjal, there is no FIFA window. In the FIFA windows are March, June, September, October, November. Match result prediction, Kamal, I don't care what the result is. I just want India to win, just to have a positive end to the year after all that has happened. And then we can start fresh in the new year and get ready. Yeah. So therefore, for me, that's going to be one of the questions that we will need to find solutions and answers. Women's team will play with Santosh Kashyap in next FIFA window. Okay, is that an observation or do you know Manolo? Farouk is at his best form, hoping we'll score again. Yes, but he missed. He wasn't there yesterday, so let's see. Sir, if you're supposed to select first 11, which players will you select? If you ask me at the moment, given the squad, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu in goal. As I said, Roshan right back, Sandesh, Raul Beke, centre backs, Akash Sangwan in the left. I would put Apuya and Suresh defensive midfield, Changte on the right, Brandon in the middle, and then I don't know if Jitin is ready. Maybe try out Jitin MS and striker, yeah, maybe Farooq Chaudhary. Can India beat Malaysia realistically? Why not, Manolo? Why not can we beat Malaysia would be my question. I think, yeah, there's every possibility that we can take on Malaysia and beat them. Yeah, if you ask me. Not an easy task. Let's be honest about that. Yes, it's not like, hey, Malaysia's coming and we're gonna, but why not? For me, that needs to be the aim for us to be able to beat Malaysia. Women's team are going to play a Tri-Nation tournament in Philippines. Okay. Okay, then they've announced. Okay. Shubhashish and Nikhil Pujari had all deficiencies because of big teams, and now the Shubhashish is scoring because of mixed up foreigners. Will he score against international teams? Kumar, I am not even. I think deficiencies all the players have. Huh? And that's the question. Who is who's going to show less of these deficiencies, right? And we've seen some of the players even showing these deficiencies in local level. India wins easily? No, Pranjal. I don't think it's going to win easily. It's going to be a tough game, and I'm hoping that we win. Kashyap has not been sacked yet, so it's obvious he will be the coach for Tri-Nation tournament in Philippines. Okay, let's see. I hope Jitin gets some minutes. Says Kamal. Abhishek, what is today's conversation is about the probable? Yes, at the moment it's about the probable squad. And again, let's see. Why don't we play friendly against some Eastern European nations? Yeah, we theoretically could. But why would an Eastern European nation play us, right? They are stuck in their World Cup qualifiers now. So, European nations anyway don't have any slots at the moment open for international friendlies. Sorry. Nope, I don't think I'm in a position to predict those elections. First time in recent years in for national squad without a single Bengal player. Still, IIFF is busy in politics and all. There is another clown key in picture. Shashi, they will start franchise league. Yeah, Shoma, let's wait and see. Which makes no sense. We will have to wait and see. Rabe exposed Bosi didn't deserve to be in squad. Manolo, then who hasn't been exposed in the recent past in their club football games? Which player? Name me one player who hasn't been exposed even playing in the ISL. If that's the logic, then nobody gets picked. And after that, what's your take on Valpuya? Happy to see him in the squad. Again, he's going to get some exposure. I think he's done okay because he's had some blunders in the last few games. And if we're talking about mistakes, uh, let's see what he does in the camp. If he doesn't make it into the final squad, I don't even know that. So we'll see. Our strikers have everything except finishing. No. How do they have everything except finishing? Again, we already lack basics. Except finishing. No, we played with Mauritius and couldn't score a goal. So whatever teams we're playing, we should score goals. That's the thing. Mahesh, every team we play, we should be looking to score goals, right? It doesn't matter who it is. That needs to be our personal challenge for the Indian national football team, is to be able to score goals whoever we are playing. And to me, that's a big question at the moment. No player from Bengal, Mecca of Indian team and squad. Bengal football progressing very fast. Yeah, don't know. It's not good for Bengal football. It's not good. But again, who's gonna wake up? Do you rate high Irfan over Rahim? Irfan physical aggression is very good. I like what I see in Irfan Yadwat, but it is the same case as with the Kian Nasiri. Is the player ready for international football? Would be my question. That's something that Manolo has to answer, not me. Is there still direct entries possible to ISL? Kamal, in theory, if someone would approach the ISL, most probably they would discuss it. Team is all about complementing others, and they can contribute the team with their talent. Sometimes, yes, complementing others or showing individual brilliance. It depends, huh? Mahesh over Liston in national team any day. Mahesh has not been playing well. Yeah. For quite a while. His best match was here recently in the AFC Challenge League, but Mahesh has not been playing his best. What's your opinion about the new Super League Kerala? Mahesh started with a lot of fanfare. A lot of things were said, a lot of things could, would, should happen. And to me, a lot of these things haven't happened. So therefore, I'm a little skeptical. I don't think, also now with the PR, that the ratings are this, the ratings are that. I'm a little skeptical of all of that. I think they need to do, in my opinion, they need to do more to be able to convince me that they are, going in that right direction. I think Super Leagues, to me, is not the right thing. Rabi exposed Shubhashish means because of pace, Shubhash lost pace to track. But he exposed him. Did Rabi do any damage? That would be then my counter question, Kumar. Manolo taking a lot of players from CFC, Owen Coyle making some influence. I think they're friends. They speak. And Owen Coyle says, listen, try out this boy, try out that boy. And that way, Namte, that way, now Irfan Yadwat, Kian, all of these guys have gotten chances in the national team. At least rest of the defenders don't use forearms to the wingers face technique when they get exposed. Ranjal, certain players have certain styles. Some is good, some is bad. Yeah. Is Liston playing well? No, not to me. I've heard a rumor that Calicut FC of Kerala Super League looking to join ISL. Kamal, yeah, nice idea for them, but if they want to join, they would most probably have to join mainstream of Indian football and work their way up. So that's the thing. Looks like IPL, risk winner and Indian striker are the easiest way to earn attention, money in Indian sports. Attention, yes, but are you earning money as an Indian striker? Mahesh isn't playing his best, but neither is Liston. Yeah, but Mahesh has been in a low for quite a while. I think it's already 6-7 months that I've not seen him really play really good, the way that we've seen him play in the past. What is state of AIFF FIFA Academy? Suraj, as far as I know, it's operational in Odisha. If Mahesh is not playing well and dropped, then same should be applied to Liston Manvir Thapa. I don't think so. I think Thapa played quite well in the last two matches for Mohun and Manvir. Last game, brilliant goal. Yeah, again, it's for the coach to decide who he thinks is more fit to play international football at what time. And again, that's with our wingers, it's an XYZ calculation. Chante is a cut above the rest, and the rest, at least to me, interchangeable. You can take X, Y, Z, and then think who do you want to play. Yeah, that's what I feel is the situation with our wingers. So performing in 1-2 matches gets you a place in national team. Yeah. Some, yes. Some players are getting that chance, right? And that's the point. Is that the way to do it, right? And now, what do you think of pairing of Jay Gupta as a backup to Anwar with Jingun in place of Mehta as centre back? Jay Gupta is not even playing at FC Goa. How are you going? I mean, with all respect, I said it last year and I stick to it. Jay Gupta is not ready for international football. Period. That's my opinion. I think he needs to do more. He shouldn't have never been called up. So that's another thing. Thapa is most complete central midfielder in this generation of Indian football. Yeah. That shows you what we're lacking. Huh? The thing about international matches, we can experiment, but at the window is less is reason then we can't take risk too. Yeah. I hope this will be Liston's last window over a year. He has so many important moments for national team against last. Okay. All he had to do was play Vikram, but he tried to play solo. Yeah, Rishabh. Liston's worse than Manvir, to be honest. Beneath is agreeing with me. Thanks a lot for that. See, the problem is for the coach to try and figure out who to pick and who not to pick. And again, for example, if he's picking Vivian, for example, where I say on one side, great that the coach has picked up Vivian, because I like the way the boy plays. But to me, it seems like Putea seems to have been forgotten in this mix once again. Now that's the thing, right? That's the tricky one. And we're looking at strikers and players. Edmund gets another call up. I mean, I saw him recently in Kolkata in training. Like the boy, but again, he's not played a competitive match for quite a while, and those are all factors which suddenly seem to be no longer a thing. So so I don't know what to think about, and that's something. Let's see. I will choose Mahesh over Liston, not because Mahesh is not an excellent player, but he will do the basic things to do in the football team, not shooting like Ronaldo from outside thinking. Okay. Kumar, if you like it or not, you or I are not choosing the players or the team. I'm trying to explain what could be the reason why Manolo is picking players, right? So it doesn't matter who you or who I think should be picked. It is for Manolo as the coach to decide. And again, whatever coach, we always have a discussion on that, right? Because people will think this player needs to be in, other will say, oh, that player needs to be in. So that's a discussion we've had. We will most probably continue to have, and on one side, maybe it makes it interesting. On the other side, it makes it difficult as well. And so I think the midfield is somehow has more players and defender squad is little less in forwards, except Chante. Others are questionable. Yeah. The midfield has options. The central midfield has options. And our defenders, again, are shaky. Let's be honest about it. And our front, we don't have a setup. And that's something that we need to work on. And that's one of the challenges we have at the moment in the Indian team, right? So Sorry, that's something that we need to look at. Right. Over 40 minutes. Those of you who are new, welcome. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. You're an Arunfoot. If you're liking what you're hearing and seeing, do leave a like behind. Do leave a share behind. 11 likes so far. Thank you very, very much for that. And if you think you want to see more, 1,899 subscribers, one more, and then we cross the 1,900 mark. So thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll do that tonight. And do also watch the videos that I produce daily under the short form. Did something today on the steps taken by the Mizoram Football Association that on banning clubs, officials, and players for match manipulation, taking a drastic step. So that's a big thing for Mizoram to do. Compliment them for that step, for this big step. Do watch that. And yesterday did something about what's the situation between AIFF and FSTL, so do have a look at those ones as well. Good evening, Neil. It's so sad to see how Nongamba Naurem lost his track. Same with Abhijit Sarkar. Shomo, there are tons of these boys where you thought, where are they? Do you think Nikhil Prabhu should be there in place of Jeekson because Jeekson's out of form? I don't think Nikhil is ready for that level. I think give him another half a season at least to prove himself regularly in the ISL, and then I think I get Edmund part, but he has shown more hunger than any other player for even if he has played just a few minutes. Once Ali gets going, Manolo might even pair Farooq and Edmund in the qualifiers. Has he done that? The question to me is he then a super sub player that you want to have? Is he a potential starter with the way, again, that hunger? Has the hunger gotten us something? That would be my question. I might be showing you the hunger, and whatever I do doesn't bring me any results. And I sometimes feel to prove a point, he's a little overmotivated. Knowing the boy for a while, that's my feeling. Or now that the problem with Liston is mentality during shooting practice sessions in national and league matches. Okay. You seem to have figured it out. Then someone just needs to tell him that, right? If that's the problem, Kumar. Deepak Tangri should be included in the squad instead of Liston. I don't think we need a defensive midfielder. I think we've got enough of them. And if I'm calling up someone, again, I think it's a question of wingers. I don't think if I drop Liston, I would call up Deepak Tangri. We are watching their ISL performance and hoping they perform in national colours. The thing is now we have a single match and we can try out some guys, whatever the result, our target AFC qualifiers. Yeah, Mahesh. And the point is, the challenge here is for Manolo is, what I always say is, you might be the best player in the ISL, but you might not be the right person to play international football, right? So that's the challenge that Manolo has as a national team coach, to figure out which players are capable of playing international football. It is understanding those things. It's like also some people have been trying to say what a great coach Khalid Jamil supposedly is. He got totally exposed yesterday. Khalid has had great success, but yesterday he got totally exposed by his team, by his erratic behavior, by his substituting his goalkeeper. And then again, this is something which and understand, and therefore again, everybody can have an opinion. A coach has to take a call. And then, as I said on other topic as well, I think knowledge and understanding is very, very important. Watching some football here and there will not take you and make you decisions. The coach has to decide, and sometimes the coach will call up players. I know that there were, under Bob Houghton, there was this discussion. Under Stevens, sometimes there was discussion like, certain players you're not calling up. And there were reasons why they did not call up players. They did not talk about it. They had problems with certain players. They didn't think that the players fit into the system. And then there are players that coaches like and want to have around a team. I think 2 players got live plan to do, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Kumar. Yeah, they did. All Indian players will get foreign players beside them to support Kumar. But that's the thing. Have you learned something from the foreigners? Have you understood what the foreigners do? Uh, it's to me is, and that is something our players are not learning, are picking up. Speaking to a couple of guys today earlier who clearly said, our players are not getting better as they potentially should if they're playing with the foreigners on a regular basis. Khalid should learn from mistakes. Neil, he's done that in the past as well. It's not the first time and it will be not the last time. It's very, very difficult sometimes for people to learn from their mistakes. But again, the problem is if you learn from, it's nice to learn from your mistakes, but there is also sometimes a ceiling of how good you potentially can be and where you should be coaching. That is something which you not need to understand. Why do you think Alex Shaji did not get a national team call-up? Because he's not good enough. Panash, do you think he's good enough to play national team football? Who should be left out and who should he replace? I don't think he's ready. I could be wrong here, but some Indian players just play good because of foreigners. When they play for national team, they get exposed. No, you are 100% right, Rishabh. And therefore, that is an example. Let's see how good Jitin MS will be, because Jitin MS has been playing with some of the most informed players in the league. That's why Jitin also looks better. So therefore, that is going to be the test with these guys, right? And let's see. Let's give Manolo some time, let him figure out. Mahesh, this is the window to still figure out. For me, this is still a window to figure out, and then we will talk about it in March. In March, no figuring out. In March, I want results, right? And that's going to be the challenge for him. If I see, how can he get the result that we need? And that's for me, will be very interesting to see. And yeah, let's see how far we can get it. But to me, it will be an interesting one if we can, if we can get the results that are needed, right? We again, for me, the start is about the results, and for me, that's going to be the challenge. And let's see if Manolo can get those results. Neil says, Rishabh, you're right. Playing 11. Vishal, Ashish, Beke, Anwar, Roshan, Apuya, Brandon, Suresh, Jitin, Changte, Edmund. Please rate my 11 out of 10. It wouldn't be my starting 11. Let's put it there. I don't want to be rude and give it a rating. This could be the right one. Again, Vishal is not. Again, I don't think the coach will give him a chance. Ashish, again, a player I wouldn't call. If Sandesh is there, Anwar doesn't play. Apuya, Brandon, Suresh is good. Jitin, Changte is fine. Edmund, don't see him as a striker playing starting. Well, let's see. It's more difficult for Manolo because of less friendlies. Potentially, yes. Fast food on the other side, he gets more time to work with the players also. So it has its negatives or maybe even its positives. Another, can Khalid lost to Northeast United FC? The commentator asked him to explain tactical mistakes. He was unable to explain tactical mistakes. Any coach who will be unable to explain tactical mistakes. Okay. Then Tata bye khatam to that coach. That coach will never be able to change the system or tweak a system. Then football is over. Again, Kumar, no. If he can't explain it on television, that doesn't mean that the coach doesn't understand his things. He has to explain it to his players. What he's saying in the media doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. If he can get it explained to his players and they understand it and they would do it, then it's fine. Again, you have to see it from a management perspective, from a player's perspective, rather than from a fan's perspective. From you, if you think he doesn't have this, a lot of coaches will not be able to explain you things in a proper way. Some even overdo it, right? Some coaches overdo it. For example, I think if, as per your logic, Juan Ferrando would be a great coach, right? But with his way, he's failed. So therefore, It doesn't matter how they speak on television. The AFC qualifiers draw will be on December 11th. I think, yes, that is true. Only midfield has some quality, defense forwards and goalkeeper quality is low. Goalkeeper, I wouldn't say low. I think on a good day, we have decent goalkeepers. Defense, yeah, is shaky, and forward. Who is our forward, right? I mean, we have wingers, but who is our center forward who's going to take us forward? So therefore, these are, yeah, very difficult things to piece together, right? So therefore, for me, who's gonna play in which position? That's the tricky part with this team at the moment, and therefore. Manolo needs to figure out which is his starting 11, which are his 14, 15, 16 players who he banks on, and who are the players who are coming in and going out. So therefore, that's always a challenge, I think, for any coach. Which Hyderabad FC player deserves the most to be in national team, keeping in mind all the stability of position currently occupied by current national team? If you ask me, Pranjal, I don't think any Hyderabad player convinces me to be in the national team. I don't know. I know certain people fight for Alex Shaji, but I don't think he's ready for that level, and he's been exposed more than once this season again. We saw that as Mohun Bagan, for example. So therefore, I don't see any Hyderabad player. We need to look at who is the best and who is the best at international level. Also, that's something which we. None of the all successful coaches can explain until or unless managers have language problems. No, Kumar. Some of them are utterly useless in front of microphones. I know coaches who are utterly useless in front of microphones, and they don't like to give interviews, but in their dressing room, they're the best. So therefore, again, these are things, which you would know if you work with the team, have been in dressing rooms. The practical side of things sometimes is different than just talking about it in theory. Imagine if you were the head coach, who can select your 15 players who are they gonna be? I think if I look at the current squad, this is most very close to what I would choose. If I look at the 26 that he's called up, the 3 goalkeepers are fine. Ashish Rai would be a question for me, to be honest. Valpuya as well. I don't think they're that level. Those 2 would be most probably a question. In midfield, yeah, somehow. I would try and see that I've got a place for Valpuya in that squad, and up front, I would have to try and create space for Rahim Ali. I think that's the player. Not sure who goes out, but those would be the ones where I see maybe that there needs to be. Isaac would be another one amongst wingers, but that's Isaac or Mahesh are also there somewhere. But again, you have a pool, I think, of 40 players who you can choose on and pick whoever you want to. But how they had to work the hardest last year. But Pranjal, working the hardest last year doesn't mean that you are quality for international football. Even you and I could be working hard. That doesn't mean that we should be playing for the XYZ team. Working hard is not the qualification. It's also about quality. Good evening, sir. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Ishan, thank you very much. Hope you're doing well as well. Does that mean they're introverted or not comfortable or panic or public speaking? Kumar, it can be any of those reasons mentioned by you. Khalid, for example, I remember at one club, he avoided, or the club paid fines because he didn't go to press conferences. So therefore, that's the thing. There are other deficiencies, and this is something explaining tactics on television again. And for him, English is not the easiest thing for him. So that's also something which one should not forget. Maybe it's the coach's attitude. He won't want to show it to the media. It's between him and the teammates in dressing room. Can be also. Did you expect Valpuya, Jitin, and Irfan to make it to the squad? Jitin, yes. Valpuya, maybe. Irfan, no. This team is blessed. Jingana's return. Hopefully, the defense will not break. On counter-attacks, I won't mind if we win with a low margin. Our defense needs to be strong as our next game is qualifiers. You want to win with low margins? I would win at all, Rishabh. What low or high margin? Doesn't matter. You know? So that's the problem. Parthiv finishing is better than most of the players, but what does he lack in your opinion? Yeah, it can be, but is he consistent? That would be the first question. Some have also, Parthiv Gova is another name. Sorry, yeah, I could have mentioned, but it is tough because the coach, again, he's coming into positions. He's often also playing as a second striker with a foreigner. Is that the way we want to play, or do we play that way? So therefore, these are some of the things, where we need to find a solution, and we haven't found solutions so far. But Parthiv Gogoi is in that circle, I would say, about, if we talk about 40 players, he falls into that. Looks like finally we will get to see Jingan and Beckett together yet again. Yes, Ishan, looks like it. Binit says, I personally believe that if some of our players target or aim to play football abroad, even in 4th or 5th division, our gameplay will improve a lot, but money and structure-wise will ruin it. Binit, I don't even know if they can play 4th, 5th division. I say that, if I look at my hometown team, FC Remscheid 6th division, I watched them on Sunday. I don't see any Indian player playing in that squad. Right, so I mean, that's the problem. If I see our wingers and all, even Chante wouldn't get a chance over there. So that's the question. Yes, I agree with what you say, that going abroad, getting that exposure would help this team dramatically. But money and structure has been a problem for the last, nearly 30 years since the NFL started. Indian players have been, for the standards that they have played, have been overpaid. And if you would know what figures Sunil used to get, none of these players now would go abroad. And that's the problem. With overpaid Indian footballers, has been a problem for decades now. Will Vibin get a chance in the 11? KS, not sure. Let's see who makes the final 23. Bose being dropped is a shocker to me, at least. Granted, he has been out of form, but he has done well for national team. Ishan, that's my thought process as well. But again, other people think otherwise. And again, so yeah. Why Nikhil Prabhu not in the probable squad? Ishan says he's injured, but also let him play another 6 months like he's done, and then we can talk about the national team. And he plays in a position where we've got options. He's not there, you can play Vivin Apuya in the midfield, then you can have interchangeable deep line playmaker and one more can person for a ball carrier. But I don't think Vivin is ready. For me, Vivin is not ready for international football. If you ask me personally, I don't think so. Usman Toshev, new coach of Afghanistan, or Ashley Westwood. Do you rate Ashley Westwood? Yeah, I mean, I rate Ashley because I've worked with him on television as an expert, so know a little bit about him. Been seeing him since his BFC days. Yeah, I do rate him. And what he's done with Afghanistan has been just incredible. I mean, Nikhil Pujari, sorry, yeah, Nikhil is injured. Yes, very true. Against Vietnam, we could have lost if they had were a bit clinical, and lucky Anwar made brilliant goal line clearance. Sure, it could have gone away too, but there were more and better chances. Rishabh, those kind of games will be around, right? If we look at matches like, for example, what could be my example? My example is now, let's say, East Bengal against Nejme, right? we're celebrating East Bengal's success, but Nejme, if they utilize their opportunities and chances, Nejme in the second half win that game. But they didn't. And therefore, and that happens in football. Vietnam did the same thing. So therefore, some of these matches, I'd rather take a result and I don't go into gameplay and how we did, what we did, like the under-17s. I would have taken a 2-2 draw. Whatever you do. Huh? What's your opinion about OCI players except us? All other nations are now busy using their origin players. As a result, SAF itself has become tough for us. Mahesh, I was the person in 2001 who first raised the topic of players of origin with the AIFF. And I've had conversations with, of course, the AIFF, with FIFA about the matter, with multiple sports ministers or other government bureaucrats and officials. We've not done it in the last 23 years. And I would love to see players of origin play for us because, again, as someone who is of Indian origin and was born and brought up in this part of the world, I think these boys would add quite a bit to our football. But the question is, are we doing the right things to get, the right results? I'm not sure. And that's for the politicians to decide down the road because, we will start losing more and more if we don't allow players of origin to come in at some stage. Ishan says, Jay Gupta has been dropped as well. Hope he learns from this. Needs to get more game time in ISL for 1 or 2 more seasons. Yeah, but I mean, Manolo himself said it last season and then was playing him, which is, he needs to play. And again, if he's a better centre back, he needs to prove it. And now his challenge is with Sandesh back, does he get game time at FC Goa? For Jay Gupta and Akash Sangwan also brought in means that not only the centre back position, but also his left back position is gone at the moment. So Jay Gupta has to get back. Another, which level you put Johan Cruyff as manager? Kumar, if I look at football managers over the decades, Cruyff would be at the highest level. Johan Cruyff was not only a brilliant footballer. Sadly, I never saw him live in that way, but what the videos I've seen, the way of his technical abilities, the way that he's built Ajax, Barca, an exceptional person, exceptional footballer, exceptional football brain. There are very few like him or have ever been. Hi, Shumon. Does India put bid for? None that I know of about any official bid. What do you think about exclusion of Subhashish Bose from national team? Raj, I would have kept him if you ask me, because experience to me counts something, right? And he was also, in the last few matches, also getting better. Few months back, a news came out like a service going on of origin players, something like a team 40 members. Any update? Mahesh, they've never done any survey. Those news blah reports, if the AIFF wants the infos on where the players are, who are the players are, I've got a list ready. We can talk about it tomorrow. I can call up most of the players. They know me, I know them, but it's for the federation and for the action, not it's for the government to take a step. How do we differentiate the current Malaysia team and Indian team in terms of quality? Beneath Malaysia is one thing, they've got origin players. So they've got players who've been brought up in the English system, in the Dutch system, in the German system, and that gives them some sort of edge, I feel. Yeah, it's an advantage, and I would say, but again, they're coming to India, and it's Manolo and his team will now have to prove how good they are, and can they play a team. We saw them last year in Kuala Lumpur in the Merdeka Cup. We challenged them to some extent. And that will be interesting to see, right? If how far can we get? And what Malaysia has, of course, done is that most of these players have now even moved back have moved back to Malaysia to play in Malaysia, right? A lot of these Dutch boys are there. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see who all will be. And I'm just looking at the squad that they've called up. Sam Shering, for example, has been called up for the first time. He plays for MK Dons, right? I mean, that guy is born in Dorchester, came through the youth ranks of Bournemouth, played for Weymouth, played for Torquay United, Accrington Stanley, Cambridge United, last 2 years in Northampton Town, now with Milton Keynes Dons. I mean, that's the kind of level of player, right? So therefore, um, that's the reality of level of players. Or Brazilian-born Enric dos Santos Parafita, right? So yeah, Malaysia will not be an easy team to beat for us at the moment. Neymar about to complete his MBBS in Saudi. Yeah, another injury. Yeah, looks difficult. Did you read Marcus' article in Tiago about Monlo Marcus? He said Jingan is the best centre back in that. Clearly means Jacob that doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, I did. And that's what I'm saying. And if I see Sandesh's performance last Saturday, then I think nobody should question Sandesh Jingan. Sorry. I mean, we can talk about every other thing, but Sandesh Jingan last Saturday was, to me at least, was very, very impressive in that game. Very, very impressive. Do you think Ajax still produces quality as their level fallen over the years? Ishan, they will have quality. They produce quality, but it is not something which is a constant with player development. Sometimes you've got peaks and this and this. But Ajax is one of the best academies in the world. They play their 4-3-3, or sometimes even a 3-4-3. So they've got an attacking mind. Yeah. What do you think of Neva? Will he go back to Europe? Is he ready? No, beneath. I think with these injuries and all, I don't see Neymar going back. There's discussions about maybe him going to Inter Miami if the rules in the MLS are changed in regard to foreign signings and marquee signings. But I don't see him coming back ever to Europe. Last time we played them, the pitch quality was really bad and also a 1 goal disallowed. Yeah, Mahesh, very true. But again, we have to adjust to that. Good quality, bad quality pitch. We have to be prepared for that, right? And if you look at the Hyderabad pitch a few days ago in the ISL, I don't know how good that pitch will be in less than 2 weeks. What do you think about Mohamed Sanan? Should he be considered as the future of Indian football? Raj falls into talent bracket of talented. Will he make it? My guess is as good as yours. To me, got potential, but he has to do better. So if we go for experience too much, then will we take the gamble? I think Bose was very sloppy, and this match against Malaysia will not affect much. Yeah, Rhythm might be logical from your standpoint, maybe even giving him a break and saying, hey, listen, take a few days off. I don't know if the coach has had a word with them, and again, let's wait and see what the team does and what the players do in the coming months. They've got a long time till March next year. And then let's see who Manolo picks up. Tell something about Rinus Michels' manager. I've heard his name was one of who invented total football. No, it was not Rinus Michels who invented total. That is said. I know a lot of people talk about Rinus Michels as the inventor of total football, but it was Johan Cruyff who was, the inventor of total football. Of course, he coached Ajax at the time when Johan Cruyff was growing up. So therefore, that's interlinked. But yeah, total football is something Cruyff and Michels, in a way. A podcast came to my feed on how we can replicate Indonesia's success. We don't understand why this discussion is still going. We'll never see players play for national team. Why would we never see? That's my question, right? Again, I've tried. I will try. I will still continue my conversations on that topic. So therefore, Therefore, let's wait and see. And again, never replicate a model. We have to work on having our own model. I can recall the short Malaysian forward who gave us a nightmare in last game. Arif Aiman, I think was his name. Yeah, I think Arif Aiman was the name. Caused us, as you say, a lot of problems. And yeah, that's part of the game, right? Malaysia is no longer a crappy, shitty team as they have been in the past, and therefore, let's see. But I see. Wait, Arif Ayman has not been called up. Okay, interesting. So they've actually called up an experimental squad to some extent. Huh? Very interesting. Inexperienced goalkeepers, for example. Huh? None of the experienced guys are called up. So Malaysia has called up mixed squad, not so experienced. Yeah. Are there any updates on youth leagues? Raj, I haven't heard anything. I think they will start some of the, you know, uh, uh, you know, um, you know, let's wait and see. I hope that they start by December, but I guess they will not start before next year. Opinion on Valpuya call up? Great for him personally, I would say, but is he ready? That's going to be my question because Valpuya has been exposed here and there. So therefore, I'd like to see more of him to be able to understand if Valpuya is really ready to stand up. Or again, 3 players are likely to be dropped from this squad. So let's see who those are. Nice joke. I never heard who does the medical profession in that way. That to football, who do parallel. Yeah. Even if AIFF approach OCF players, do you think the players will take Indian passport? And how can it be possible with dual citizenship? Fast food, I think there are certain players who would take up Indian citizenship if you would help them. Again, at the moment, it would take you it will take you about minimum 5 years to get an Indian passport. So that's the first thing. And yes, there are players who are willing to take up Indian citizenship, but again, the government needs to come forward and help in that, and not, the process can't take so long. How many goals are we going to concede in the game? To me, Shuman, I think that's too negative. I don't think that's going to be discussion. To me, the question is, how can we win this game? We can always lose, but again, to me, very important. Let's see how we play, how we structure ourselves. Let's see what we can do in that game. Given the situation, we wish I get any chance. Rhythm, I'm not sure. I think Manolo. The question is if Manolo is putting out an experimental side, yes. If he's looking at his potential first 11 for March, then no. Last time when Manolo announced his squad against Vietnam, everyone thought that he's done with Thapa, but this time he got selected. What do you say? Raj, players like him need to be in the squad. That's the reality. The problem with most of the Indian players, there's no transition part from December 21. I think it's too big to take leap into ISL. Okay, if you're good, if you're really good, that transition shouldn't be big, right? So, yeah. What do you think of Ashik? Where his injury made him 0-1 of the key player for national team, also getting game time almost. It is what it is. Yeah, Bini, that's the problem. If Ashik doesn't play, he doesn't get a chance in the national team. He's not playing at Mohun Bagan, right? So that's something. Your take on Irfan Yadwat. Deepak, I remember I first heard the name when he was still playing locally in Goa. Then he went to Bangalore United, impressed in the second division league at the time, which is of course I-League 2 now. Moved to Chennai. I thought, maybe a jump too big, which seemed to be last season the case. Has improved. Question is how much, how regularly will he play? That's going to be the question to me. Scored a great goal yesterday, of course, where he showed potential capabilities, and that's what he needs to now regularly do to be able to do that. But the point is with him is, if you look at now Chennai, at Chennai FC, he's got a foreigner next to him who's sort of, and again, a foreign playmaker behind him. So that's a sort of a combination which is there. So yeah, with the national team, it's a little different. Which clubs in Germany have the best youth programs? Ishan, I have to say Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund will be amongst them. Bayer Leverkusen will be in that mix. SC Freiburg has a very good youth program. Mainz has a good youth program. Leipzig has a good youth program. Bayern, of course, also brings up players once in a while. Werder Bremen, Stuttgart, yeah, tons of teams. isn't the best game for Vishal to get a chance. Pranjal, the question is, how does the coach approach it? If Manolo is looking at this game and says, you know, and saying, listen, I want to settle in my first 11, then it becomes difficult to say, okay, listen, I am going to give Vishal a chance. If he's still not settled on his, if he's saying, listen, I want to try out certain things in this game, then that's an opportunity. But I'm not sure which path he's considering or wanting to take in this instance, because that's a challenge, I think, for the coach to recognize, to realize how he wants to do it. So therefore, that's going to be the question, I guess. I think Liston doesn't deserve to be in the squad. Okay, Raj, that's your opinion. What do you make of Kian's performance the other night? Ishan, okay, nothing extraordinary. It's good that he got minutes, but it didn't, Apuya growth is gone after jumping into another ship. Do you think his ceiling is reached? No, ceiling is certainly not reached, but yeah, it's something. Was it the right move for him? That's the question that, for the money factor, certainly. And then, I don't understand the 5-year thing about OCI players that you said earlier. Fast food, what I was saying is that for let's say an OCI player, player of Indian origin wants to, at this moment, wants to pick up an Indian citizenship. It takes him 5 years to get an Indian passport at the moment, right? So that's how it is, and that's, I think, the biggest problem. A player waiting 5 years makes no sense. What is this in German language, sir? That what you're saying is a sharp S, what they say in German, and that is actually a double S. If you could write double S, and this is the replacement for that with sharpen S. Is Manolo seeing what very few people are able to see in CFC players? No, I think Raj, he's seeing something potentially, but he's also talking to Owen Coyle, right? And Owen Coyle is saying, listen, these are the players that I've seen. Owen most probably recommends the players to him and say, have a look at this boy, have a look at that boy, and that's how the players are being called up. Is the Andorra League even a good league? Pranjal, for our players, any European league per se is a good league. The Andorra League has one advantage, I think. Again, will not be the highest level, some would say, but to me, the good thing with the Andorra League is that it's going to be a technical league. It's a league. Andorra lies between France and Spain in the Pyrenees, and a lot of Spanish players, for example, play in that league, and all of them will be technically good. Their basics will be good, tactically will be good. So from that perspective, yeah, they might not be the best players in the world, but again, even a lower level Spanish player most probably is better than most Indian footballers at the moment. I'm late to the convo, but Jitin MS selected finally and Bose out. Wow. Yeah, well then, let's see. North Korea U17 just won the World Cup, and here we see something. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what. But North Korea in the women's game has been strong over the years. It's not a new phenomenon which cropped up last week and suddenly they're there. No, they've been there. Under 17, under 20, senior women's, they've been there. Sorry, sip of water. So Ishfaq did an interview with 420 grams. So did you watch it? No, Ishan, I haven't been able to watch it, but I will hopefully watch it later today. What pushes a coach of caliber of Owen Coyle to coach an ISL team? Is the money that good? Yeah, for him, the money is good. Not only for him, for all the other coaches, it's good money. It's not just the players, also the coaches are well paid in the ISL. The problem with Indian forwards is consistency. Like once in a while, they will score a stunner, but that is once a while. For example, the Manvi goal for Mohan Super Giant. Yeah. In the last match, corner shield. Okay, mostly crossing the ball. He's not in the center position. Commentators calling cross king. Okay. Right, let me read it again. In the last match, Connor Shields. It's not corner, it's Connor, double N. Mostly crossing the ball. He's not in the central position. Commentators are calling cross. He changed the position, right? There was an injury and they made the substitution and then he moved to the wing because Namte came in. But initially he was there. And again, you've got somewhat of a foreigner, right? It's even when Irfan played that ball, that third goal, an Indian player most probably would have whacked the ball anywhere. Connor Shields just places the ball. Huh? That shows you the quality of the player. Binit says, I personally feel Brandon is also not in a good form, seems shaky, and Sal is also not there. Same goes for him. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I think Brandon, due to the injury in preseason, still settling down at Mumbai City. And yeah, and also settling down in the national team. I think we've not seen a consistent Brandon over the years, right? So that's um, which is part of the problem. Are we bad in injury prevention? Even with the short league, we have so many injuries while they are playing 60 plus matches in Europe. I don't think so. I think that the weather conditions are different in India than, let's say, here in Europe. That's one factor. Traveling in India is much more complex than in other parts of the world. It might be also that the ground conditions, it might be soft, it might be hard. Uh, uh, you know, so for me, yeah, that's something very interesting. Is there a piece of stat? Because I think football has also become much more physical in the last decade. Yeah, faster, energetic, and that way, muscle injuries are seem to be happening more. Who will play in place of Bose? There's anyone good? Shuman, I think if you ask me, Akash Sangwan deserves an opportunity, or if he keeps Roshan on that wing. I don't know what the plan of Manolo is, but to me, there are options, and let's see what options Manolo picks and chooses and takes, and what he thinks is the right thing. Yeah, in my opinion, he has options, right? And that's something which I find very interesting to see, that he does have options to play here or there, and then Manolo has to pick the right players in those positions and make them play. One argument about coaching I don't understand is AFC licenses being expensive. I mean, what else are they supposed to be? Is it a source of livelihood? I've seen Indian coaches dissing this. Ishan, very, very right. So it's like, hey, listen, can you give me a degree? If you're studying and you say, listen, can you give me the degree for free? So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happened in England. Also, they were doing this comparison. Oh, you know what? In Spain, the coaching licenses are cheap, so therefore there's so many Spanish coaches and this and that and everything, blah blah. And they don't realize that a lot of these Spanish coaches actually who do the licenses don't stick around in India. They go around the world, right? Oscar Bruzon came many years back to India, right? Over a decade back, he came to India, and other coaches as well. Yeah, so coaching licenses can't be for free. It's not charity. And again, we have gone for mass than for class and DNC licenses. I think we should go for class rather than mass, surely. Do you think Jamshedpur FC conceded 5 goals in 2 consecutive matches? Are they too fragile? Yeah, Raj, 100%. I mean, that they are too fragile was seen, and they were lucky in both those matches. They could have conceded more, and especially the second match, you realized Stephen Eze not being there, that Indian back line didn't work for them, right? That was a huge weakness for Jamshedpur FC, and they got totally exposed. So therefore. Yeah, if they like it or not, it was a problem for them, and they will have to find better solutions in the next game. There is a standard gap across ISL teams as well. I mean, some have huge budgets and some don't. Who, according to you, could be called the best team for scouting foreign talents? For me, it's Punjab. Yeah. I would always say. Punjab FC have done a very good job, or have done a very good job as well. Again, City Football Group helps with Mumbai City as well. So those two, my two ex teams. would be the ones that I would say would be the ones to pick for me. Our players lack talent. Can the same be said about our strength and conditioning coaches and other support stuff? You can see the difference within a difference because you've seen both in European. See, I think there's a general question about coaches, but strength and conditioning coaches are mainly foreigners these days, right? The support stuff, you have your Indian coach here and there, you've got Indian doctors, but very often S&C coaches are foreigners. But again, strength and conditioning, how much can you do? It's about if your basics aren't good, you have a problem. And that's, I think, the problem where we're struggling. One time lapse of concentration, he was saying that Turkmenistan was tough other than Thailand. Who said that? Did I miss something, Kumar? Did you say something earlier? Okay, I don't know. But he didn't have that physicality. Akash Sangwan has the physicality, surely. Why did Khalid get a red card? I missed the live stream, only watched the highlights. He was misbehaving with the officials, and then he was shouting at Owen Coyle, and yeah, he was totally out of control. Another, does license really cheap or just pointing fingers for namesake? Kumar, for me, the question is not doing it cheap or not doing it cheap. The question is, if I want quality, even in the coaching courses, I need to get quality out, right? And that is something which I feel we're lacking at the moment. And therefore, it is one of the problems, and we need to work and work and work and work hard on those things. Jamshedpur stoppers are like no words for them. I mean, how they are playing, I said Pratik is okay, but others I don't think. Yeah, but Pratik, for example, yesterday, himself, if you would ask Pratik, how was it? If he's honest enough, he would have said it was not good enough. That comment was a continuation of last comment. Okay. Okay. 1 hour and nearly 28 minutes, which would be 88 minutes, nearly a full football game of Indian football discussion, as we do daily. Try and do. As I always like to share, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube and my other social medias. 22 likes so far. Thank you very much to all of you. Share it to others who might be interested in these conversations. And 1,900 subscribers. And, so thanks a lot. Another small milestone, and keep coming back, and let's have this discussion. He's talking about Ishfaq Ahmed. Okay. Again, this saying something wrong shouldn't happen, can happen, does happen. It happens to me, it happens to you, it happens to anyone. So therefore, guys, he must have had something as a thought, knowing Ishfaq. So therefore, these kind of mistakes happen. Congrats for 1.9K. Thanks a lot, Abhishek. Again, let's spread it. 1.9, next aim 2K. And as I said, whenever I cross the 2K, thereafter I'll start doing some interviews with people on the platform. And we'll be bringing some interviews to you guys with interesting people to talk to. So therefore, keep supporting arunfoot here on YouTube, and of course my other social media. So follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on X as well. Everywhere I happen to be arunfoot. AFC license evaluated by AFC or by AIFF? Kumar, when the coaching licenses were started by the AIFF, it was actually managed by the AFC. So you had AFC. We didn't even have a pro licensed coach here, but you had pro, A, B, and C. So all of them, and then slowly we started moving them to the AIFF. Again, you install AFD, AFC, AFFD and AFFE. AFCC is managed by AIFF. Even the B is managed by the AIFF. In A, this is a mix of AIFF and AFC, and the pro license is managed by the AFC. It always feels great to talk with you. Lots of better insights we get through. You really appreciate it. Thank you, Vineet. Thank you very much. And again, if I wouldn't enjoy these conversations with you guys, I wouldn't do it. Maybe once in a while I do get a little angry, like yesterday. If I know certain things on how they are run, how they work, how they operate yesterday, but this whole AFC thing, which to me, annoys me really. Having also worked with them, that this whole, the Arabs are controlling it, this, that, and everything, and I know it better that it's not factually true, and that's something where where I get very fussy about. So therefore, therefore I said that. So therefore, thank you very much for those words. Really appreciate it. Indian coaches are not accepting that our players are not enough. Sorry, Indian coaches are not accepting that our players are not enough with basics of football. That's the problem. Yeah, and that your level of coaching might not be the best. You might, in theory, might have read this, might have read that, and might not be the best. For me, Nikhil was never a national team material. Happy with his exclusion. Your take on this? Raj, if you say that he's not national team material, then who's left as national team material? Then we've got 5 players. We can play 5 aside. I think Nikhil Pujari, I remember when he's attacking Aftar when he was playing right wing. I really liked him at the time. So therefore, if we don't have too many options. Do you think refereeing has marginally improved marginally this year? Deepak, I think it has improved generally. I think not marginally. I think it has improved. I think we're having younger referees in there. They seem to be more confident when they're making their decisions. So therefore, I would say they have improved. Making mistakes, we saw that. Yeah, day before yesterday, the foul of Valpuya on Kwame Pepra, to me, it's not even a soft penalty. That's never a penalty. But others also, they miss this and that. But it happens again. We're talking about that in Europe, even with VR, you're making a mistake. I go back to the Euros, that Kukurea block against the Musiala shot, even with VR, not given. So therefore, mistakes happen. And some fans would say, oh, we cheated this, that, and everything. But yeah, I think the refereeing is the way it is. It is getting better, but to be top class, I think it has to still go a long, long way. What kind of work do you do and where you live? Shuman, I am based in Germany. I'm born and brought up over here. Parents are Bengali, so Kolkata roots. And I work in professional football in management and administration, and actually mainly now in consulting work, and so therefore that's what I do and where I live. Then Arunfoot turns into Furious Foot, but it's okay. We know where you're coming from. Thanks, Deepak. Yeah, maybe Furious Foot or maybe Furious Arun. I don't know what suits or fits better. 5 aside, Vineet. Yeah, but Vineet, if you're taking out a Nikhil Pujari, what is left? What if Nikhil Pujari, in your opinion, is not good enough? Then I don't have too many players. So therefore, that's something. That's something, which is a reality. So it's not. To me, it's not. There's not an easy solution to that. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Guarantees that AIFF doesn't have bias or a person conducting shows bias to a person who knows them personally enough that we are producing bad coaches that licenses were given by AIFF, then the problem is also in the AIFF. See, the problem is that the coaching instructor will know certain coaches in the course. Will he give favors to them? You don't know. Should they be given favors? No, of course not. But it happens in Germany, it happens in the UK, it happens in Spain. So therefore, again, the problem is rather not that the AIFF is producing coaches. Again, the coaches have licenses, but they need to upgrade themselves. It's not on the licenses. The license is it's a little different, you know. To me, the challenge lies in trying to improve these coaches and then to upgrade themselves. I think it's on the coaches, it's a prerogative, you know. And I know a lot of them watch now a lot of stuff for football online, this, that, everything. But watching it online, you have to go there and experience this wherever you can. That's a challenge, I think. What do you think about Goat Gupta referee? Shuman, yeah, it's one of the referees we have, and you will call him GOAT. I know that people have made Lords out of XYZ players, and then suddenly, you know, Raul Beke, I think, is my favorite example. Lord Beke has now become our best centre back. So, yeah, these Lords, these GOATs, very easy to always term them. Hi, Roshan, guten Abend. Who from the newbies in the province list could or should get a chance if you would be the coach? Again, I'm not seeing the training of the team once they meet in Hyderabad, but if you ask me, I would like to see, potentially Jitin play. Right? If you ask me, that would be a player that I would like to see. Why are we producing bad coaches? That means upcoming coaches who are younger generation. It's a question of the system. It's the exposure that these guys get, and you know, even the instructors, is the quality really of that level? And that those combinations are factors why we are not producing level of players what I would say we would need to sort of produce. Why they are not providing sufficient time for the national team camps, ISL, I-League, these are all done for making national team, but they give less value to it. Mahesh, it's the international calendar. It's not about ISL or I-League. It's about the FIFA windows, and the FIFA windows are very strict and stringent, and therefore, you know, the football is built around clubs rather than around national teams. What's your view on Ishfaq Ahmed interview on 420 grams? Roshan, I don't have an opinion about it because I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it tonight, and then, you know, we can have a conversation about it tomorrow. To me, again, as I said, I've not watched it, so I can't have an opinion if I've not watched something, you know, to be very, very honest. Hi, Saurabh. I'm a big fan of Indian football, which is very hurtful passion to have and I really wanted to grow. I work in Amsterdam. Would you know if there's anything I can do to support the cause? Ooh. First of all, Saurabh, the good thing is that you follow Indian football, right? That's the first positive I would say. So it's good to hear that you follow Indian football. Speak about it, write about it. You know, I think that's important. If you use social media, talk about it, talk about the right issues. Try and make maybe comparisons to what you see in the Netherlands. You are in one of the best footballing countries in the world, in one of the biggest footballing cities in the world, in Amsterdam. So therefore, those would be my sort of, you know, simple advices to you. You know, yeah. At the moment, I don't know if you coach or if you want to do stuff in sports management beside your work, whatever it is. But those would be my pieces of advice. Is giving third grade education accepting Nobel laureates in scientific fields? The education on paper is good. It's not the question, it's not theory, it's about practical side of things. And this is a general weakness that we have from an Indian perspective. Do you think I-League should be organized by some private entity like FSDL, or will arise a new contract with two entities? Raj, which entity would be willing to organize the I-League? Would be my question to you. If you think, is there an entity waiting to organize the I-League at this moment? Is there an entity who says, you know what, my dream has always been to organize the I-League. Let me give money to the AIFF. I think the AIFF would do that, but there is no entity which is waiting and saying, listen, I want to organize this league for you. Don't see that happening. So that is your challenge. That is your real challenge with these kind of things. That do you have it in you to have people to do it for you? Do you think Jio is making any money from ISL with Jio Hotstar merger? Do you think ISL will be able to get the same broadcast revenue in future? Let me just read it again. Do you think Jio is making any money from ISL? No. They are spending money. And with Jio Hotstar merger, do you think ISL will be able to get the same broadcasting revenue in future? The ISL gets no broadcasting revenue. So to answer both your questions is, football or ISL football as ISL football is not something which is going to make you money as a broadcaster. That's a challenge. Yeah, that's a real challenge. But that's, at the moment, at least, the reality of how things are. In talking about national team camps, when it comes to U17, U20, U23, all these teams are playing the qualifiers even without playing a friendly or without any proper camps. They're playing the proper camps. They're having, at least the under-17s and under-20s are having extended camps. So that is not true. Friendlies is an issue. We've now under-17, under-20s have used the SAF championship, or actually the SAF or the South Asian Football Confederation has planned now the under-17s and under-20 championships in a way that they are like, your friendly matches. So that's a good step in the right direction. But, we need to actually also play tougher opposition. That doesn't happen. It's happened in the past, but at the moment that level of exposure sadly is not there. He's a new subscriber, I think. Okay, Kumar. Indian football is like that kid who studies the entire chapters in one day on the night before exams, no revision, no notes. Yeah, Beneath, very well summed up. Part of the problem is that we are, in theory, your stuff, but 2 days after the exam, if you would ask the questions, I think, people would know what you're asking them about, and that's the problem. So therefore, that's part of the challenge that we have, that we need to build, rebuild, and yeah, let's wait and see if we can get it to the level that we want, that we need. Nearly 1 hour and 44 minutes, so more than 100 minutes, so even 90 plus minutes with injury time, added time, slowly coming to an end of this live. Thanks a lot once again, guys, for joining in. If you liked what you've seen, what you've heard, 25 likes so far, do leave a like behind. Share it if you think it's good. People should hear about it. Subscribe as well to arunfoot. Again, as I said today, 1900 flat. So thanks a lot for reaching 1.9K. Next aim has to be now the 2K. And as I said, once I cross the 2K, I'll start doing some interviews as well for you guys. And also always support. Kumar says it's like engineering semester exams. Abhishek saying ultimately it is budget allocation is the thing that helps runs the organization in India, both incoming and outgoing. Low to nil profits is not even a thing in last 2 decades. Very, very true. So my question is, AIFF making money by organizing I-League? If not, then will it not be okay then? AIFF making no money by the president and I-League organizers making money. AIFF makes no money. AIFF makes no money on the I-League. AIFF makes no money on any of the tournaments. They get a fixed amount from Reliance. They get certain grants from FIFA, certain grants from the AFC, certain grants from the government of India, which have dried out, and earn a little bit here and there, but that money is, Thanks, Shumon and Chirag. I'll just end on this. Thoughts on the squad, Chirag. The coach has brought in some players who are in form in the ISL at the moment. Irfan Yadwar and Valpuya, to me, a little bit of a surprise. Vibin Mohanan, deserves that opportunity. Good to see Sandesh Chingan back. And then let's see. So therefore, that's good. That's good to see. And let's see. Thanks, Dark Knight, for that. Congratulations. The money generation is only in sponsors, right, in sports. No, rights is one. Sponsors is one thing. Television rights is normally the biggest earner. And then there's merchandising. There is tickets. All these kind of things which potentially can make you money as well. If you ever register a public limited company, the stock price will be negative. Okay, Kumar. All right, so I'll come to an end for tonight. As I always say, like, share, and subscribe arunfoot here on YouTube. Thanks as always for your support, guys. And I will be back tomorrow night for another live. Thanks, Vinit, as well. Good night, everyone, and see you